So if you're a small business owner and you're thinking to yourself, which AI project should I be prioritizing right now? I got you, because in this video, I'm going to share a scoring system to allow you to prioritize which AI projects you should be working on right now in your business. And if you like this sort of content, this is day 6 of my 30-day content challenge where I'm doing one take, shoots to camera. I have literally about 5 minutes before I have to go into the office to record this video. So there's probably going to be heaps of mistakes, but we don't care about that because all you care about is that score. So let's get into it. Ben Affleck put it best when he said that with AI, art is knowing when to stop, and AI doesn't ever know when to stop. So you'll notice when you have conversations, Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, you're never done with the conversation. It's always asking you follow-up questions. Would you like me to do this? Would you like me to do that? So if you're working on a project, it'll be very hard to know when good is good enough, because you'll always want to be iterating and improving, and you'll never actually ship the thing. I'd also add to Ben's thing that it's also knowing what not to start. Because with AI now, the possibilities are literally limitless. There are heaps of things that you can do and start within your own business, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should chase them all. So this formula that I'm going to share with you was actually developed in Dropbox back in the day, in the early phases when they were talking about, which projects should we be prioritizing right now. So I've adjusted and tweaked it a little bit, but the main thing you need to remember is the acronym RICE, R-I-C-E. So let's start off with R. So R is reach. So that is how many people are going to be impacted by the decision that you're about to make. So I'll use an example, like a recurring example here. A lot of small businesses in particular are tussling between, do I go and get a CRM subscription, or do I save myself that money and build my own CRM inside of AI? So we're going to use that example in the background of all of this. So in the case of a CRM, it is probably one of the most important tools that a business has. So in terms of the reach, on the reach score, it's basically however many people you've got in your database. So if you've got 10,000 people in your database and you got 10 people on your team, that would be 10,010 would be the reach score in this scenario. Next up is impact. So the scoring rubric of this is really important. So impact is, if I do this thing, how much benefit is it going to have to the bottom line of our business? So you're thinking here in terms of cost saving, time saving, or revenue generation. So a CRM done right is quite highly impactful if it's used. And the scoring you want to do is, if it's a massive impact, give it a score of 4. If it's a medium impact, give it a score of 2. Now these numbers are really important. Don't make up your own here. And I'll explain why in a second. And if it's of a low impact, i.e. it's not really going to move the dial all that much, but it may be a little bit convenient, give that a score of 1. The reason being, I like to keep it simplified in terms of rules of 3. I always think 1, 2, 3 too many. If you try to give yourself too many scoring categories, you're not going to score in anything. And the reason why 4, 2, and 1 is the scoring for massive, medium, and low impact is because if you were to do it, say, on a scale of 1 to 5 or a scale of 1 to 10, most humans you can't really differentiate between a 6 and a 7, for example. So you can't really tell if it's truly impactful. Whereas if you simplify it down to the 4, 2, 1 method, if it get literally massive is twice the size of the one below it, and medium is twice the size of the one below that. So that's super important. C is confidence. So how confident are you that you're going to be able to score this thing? That you're going to be able to see this through to the end? And I would again do the same thing. Just a 4 if you're like, I'm 100% confident in this. I would give it if you're 50% confident, I'd give it a 2. And then if you're not that confident, give it a 1. Let's just keep it really simple right throughout. So in the case of CRMs, if you don't have a background in CRMs, why would you go to build your own CRM when there's a heaps of other different decisions that you could make in your business that may be more impactful. So that's why confidence in achieving the thing is really important. And the final one is ease. How easy is it going to be to do? So if you look at the example of building your own CRM, if you don't have a background in CRM, even with AI being able to spin things up for you, AI will get you 80% of the way there, but the 20% that matters, you're going to need to do that yourself. You're going to need to train it up. And I've built a lot of tools with AI. That 20% is very high effort. So again, if it's really easy, you give it a 4. If it's medium easy, you give it a 2. And then if it's pretty hard, as in, building things that you don't know about, I would give that a 1. So you'd basically multiply all those numbers together. And then if you're assessing multiple solutions, whichever one has the highest score is the thing that you should start working on next. If you found that helpful, I've a school community called the LinkedIn Founders Club. You can get access to that in the video below. This next video is going to go through the theory of constraints and how they can be liberating. See you there. Bye.